Space, the final frontier. This is the 2.5-year journey of the build of the Starship Enterprise. Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models. Welcome to stage 20 of Pack 6, not stage 20 of Pack 6. It's Pack 6 and it's stage 20 because Pack 6 started with stage 90. You know how it works by now, I'm sure you do. Anyway, this is the build, the continuing story of the Enterprise NCC 1701D, the next generation Enterprise, as is pictured here. You can tell by the way it's pictured here. In this issue, this is going to be the shortest one, I think, so I'm going to be putting in the looking at the episodes part afterwards. This time we have received all of this stuff here. The battery pack for the main body. I assume the other one we've got is going to be for the saucer section. 2 more lights, another panel with a lot more windows and screws, and 2 life pod bay things for that there. Let's have a look at the build. Got flick through all of this. Stage 20 assembly. There we go. This is the arrangement of windows that they, I don't know, suggest, they tell you. This is how it is shown on screen. Obviously this is actually 2 parts, although I quite like that they're shipping them like that because it does work well for me. That is basically that. So we've got the 2 life pod covers, which it should tell you, yes, the red line on each pod cover should be furthest from the tapered end. So as we've got the red line there, it should be down there, so that goes there on both of those, like that. And then you basically just got to copy what happens on that picture. I'll put it on the screen so you can see it rather than have to look at my version of it. I find it easier to do this with a pair of tweezers. Basically pick up one window, a clear window in this instance, which is going to go in there, if I can turn it over the right way. There we go. So we've got a clear window there, a clear window next to it, and 2 dark windows next to that, and that's the top line as it says on the thing, on the instructions. Now I believe that they've accurately modelled and paid attention to every episode that they can watch, and made sure that all of these are exactly right for the build. I'm going to mess about, as on most of these panels, I think all of them so far, I have messed around a little bit. So on this one, I'm gonna swap around those 2. So I'm going to have a clear and a dark on there, rather than a dark and a clear. There's 2 dark ones next to it there. Right, you don't need to see me fiddling with these tiny little windows for minutes to come, so I shall quit the camera. I'll get these on there, and then we'll see about the rest of it, which is basically just going to be putting that panel on there, screwing it in place, getting the lights in, and then assembling it to the main body that we've got already. So I shall see you in a moment when I've got that done. Actually, I'm going to put the panel on because it's exactly the same as it always has been. We're using 2 bulbs on one side and 1 bulb on the other, so I'll be using those. I'll get it ready and we'll get it ready to test, and then I shall see you for that. Right, there we go. That's screwed in place there. All nice and good. Actually, no, that side doesn't look so good. Something's not right there. Should that be over there? I think I may have done something wrong somehow. That doesn't feel right. That was over the windows, and don't know. I'm not happy with that. I shall come back and check that in a moment. But first of all, let's check to make sure that everything lights up. It says to plug these into B and D, so we'll do that. It's that. Oh, I've this one plugged in, so that one's already lit up. Plug that one into B. And that's the other side lit up on there as well. Yeah, you can see that because you can see the one that's next to it light up. That's all good. So I shall tidy up this side, and then it means getting the entire assembly out. So I'll do that. I'll put away the spare windows and get some screws ready to go. So I shall see you in just a moment. Okay, I had a little issue with one of the bulbs not sitting in there properly. That was why it wasn't tightening down, but that's all sorted now. And I found not a solution, but a reason. I was wondering why we hadn't put a screw in there yet. And the reason is because we need to get the bulb around it. Now, I thought you might have to take it off of there, which is strange because we've only just put it on. But we don't. What we need to do is thread that through there, as you could imagine it was going to go. So it's easier. Come on, you're going through there. I know you might not like it, but you are. And that bulb's come out. That's interesting. Why has that come out already? It shouldn't have. Right, so anyway, that one's going through there. This one is going through the same, the other side, but easy. Now, we need to get this setting through that little gap there. Now, we ordinarily, it'd be plugging it through and going round. But because that screw's not there, we can actually just bend it around. I'm going to spread these a little bit to make it a little bit easier. Like that. So we can actually just push that 2 wires under there. Easily, he says. Like it's easy. There we go. Spread that a little bit. That red and black wire will go underneath there. And come through the other side. Oh, it's not going because of the little ridge of that. So I need to lift it over there, but still under there. And that'll go through there like that, just into the right place. So it's going to take the normal finagling and bending to get the wires seated in the right place. But before I do that, I'm going to put this bulb back where it should be. So I shall see you back when I'm ready to put the screws in, when it's all sitting in the right places. Right, the reason that wasn't standing there is because obviously you can see from the front, there's nothing holding it in place as yet, because it's not, this is still slightly loose until we get another panel on the top there. So I'm not overly concerned. I'll put it back where it should be and got that into about the right place. So now, if I can turn this over, we've got 3 of the DP screws to put in place. So I don't want that under there. I want that over there. Like that. So that's not getting trapped under there. That should be good. 3 of the DP screws, which I have prepared. So one goes over this side on this one. And the other 2 back over the other side. It's going to be another needing extra hands bit. But at least it's only the one panel that we're attaching today, except it isn't. We've got the other panel over there that we're going to be putting in place. So I'm going to, again, finagle, manhandle, and adjust this into the right place. There you go, that's biting on there. So I'll do that a little bit. I'll get the other 2 in, and we'll see where the last panel's going to fit. Right, this is the one, it's the central one. It's going up there, but all the cables need to go through those 2 holes there, obviously one from each side. So when that's in place, yeah, there is a little bit of room either side. It pictures it with the wires more bent up, sort of coming out and going under. So I'm going to bend these back a touch just to get everything to line in a little bit better, I think. Although that's still taking them out over here. I think I'm going to have to bend them back to the straight down. It's not what's sort of shown in there. It just says threading the cables. So it doesn't really show the wires coming out the back. So yeah, I'm gonna double them up like we have been doing before. So I know it's all right for them to do that. But what we're going to make sure is that the cables are enough play in them for this to come back over here before it goes anywhere. And getting it the right way up, obviously, as well. So they're going through there, like that. That's going through there. That's attaching there, and obviously further back. So I'll turn it over. We'll hold it in place with 2 BM screws. And then that should be the end of this part of the build. So I'll be able to get to the actual looking at the magazine bit once I've shown you how this goes together. Okay, that's attached. I'm not sure about this bit. It looks like that might be bending in slightly. Well, it definitely is bending in slightly I'm not sure whether that's because of something I've done or just the shaping, or if it's all going to come clean when everything else is assembled. I think once I've got at least a chunk of panels on, if not the whole thing, there might be a little bit of time for some creative loosening and tightening of screws to try and get things to balance and fit together better. The framework is nice and secure. I've made sure all the screws on that are good. But yeah, the panels might need a little bit of tweaking. But we'll get to that in a moment. But that's the completed build from this time. We've got lots of extra BM screws. I'm not sure why. One DP, which is fine. One's normal, but having 3 spare is a little bit excessive. But that's that. Right, I shall get this out of the way and we'll have a quick look at the magazine. Alright, before we get to the magazine, I thought I'd show you the screw box. This is the one that they've given very kindly with the build. I've put the labels from the packets on the insides of these so I can keep them all nice and straight. And you can see already there's a collection of escape pod hatches, which is fine, that's okay. A few of some screws and absolutely loads of, well, BM and BP. There seem to be an abundance of quite a few of these AP ones, but yeah, I don't know why we're getting so many of those all of a sudden, but I don't think they're going to be used. I think we're going to keep building to them until they fill up this pot. But yeah, that's that. So, onto the magazine. We're looking at the parts that aren't the build, basically. In this one, once again, we've got parts and assembly. We've got 4 episodes to have a look at. So, if they continue to do 4, I don't know, should I do 1 for each part? Although that was already long enough, stage 19. So no, I think it's nice to pick one that's going to be the short one, and we'll go ahead and do that. So we're looking at Heart of Glory, series 1, episode 20. Yeah, Klingons come back and Worf becomes a bit more Klingon. All good. I do remember that one. Not so long since I watched these. Arsenal and Freedom. Yeah, the one with the flying things that we're not going to mention what they look a bit like, but yeah, they keep evolving and getting better. So yeah, that was quite interesting. Symbiosis, yeah, the thing with the other thing, and the when Dr. Crusher uncovers the exploitative relationship between the drug-dealing Brecons and the addicted Amerians. Yeah, was this the one with the one that? No, I remember this one. Yeah, the 2 planets that are in geostationary orbit or whatever. They get them to do all the farming and stuff for them and give them a drug that they actually don't need anymore. They're just addicted to it. Yeah, I remember that. Casting of Beverly, interesting enough. And Skin of Evil. Yes, this was the one where Tasha Yar died, which was a bit of a shock at the time because she was like the main character. But episode 123. Yeah, that was an interesting one. I did quite enjoy that. It's definitely man in a suit, but we won't worry about that. Apparently it was Mark McChesney, but voiced by Ron Gans. Casting of Worf. Cool. And that is the end. There's no more page. That's the last page. That's that. So that was the look at the magazine, the look at the episodes. I shall return very shortly for part 21. Or stage 21 as they call it in these. So thank you very much for watching. My insignia's all upside down. I'll get run out of Starfleet for that. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and yeah, live long and prosper, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.